As New York State Senator, what are some of your daily responsibilities?
You know, it's amazing the amount of complexity of the issues that you deal with every single day. And because whether you be, my district is Westchester, Putnam, and Dutchess County, and we have very specific issues there, of course, from taxes to environmental issues, but you really have to be up on all the issues in the state. So Manhattan and hydraulic fracturing and regulations on industry that maybe you haven't necessarily always been involved in. My background is the military, former Air Force officer, and was in the private sector for a little bit and then ran for assembly. But you really need to read the bills and be on top of what's going on, because there are some pretty complex issues. So I'm up 4:30, 5 o'clock. I run. You know, I think it's important to stay fit so you can stay awake during these amazing meetings that are just always exciting. They keep you at the edge of your seat. Not exactly. And just try to stay very active.
What are some of your biggest challenges as state senator?
It's unfortunate how tough it is to even get good things done in New York State. But democracy, the great thing about democracy is the representation and the people have an input. But democracy was also set up to kind of slow things down, right? So you don't just have a legislative process that's controlled by one person and expedited and allowing bad things to happen on a really quick time frame. So we have 150 members in the Assembly. They all have districts that they represent in earnest. And then 62, now 63 members in the Senate. So you have to get them all on board, which is like, you know, herding cats squared, and then the governor's support. So even on things that are no-brainer, like a statewide veteran cemetery, which I've been pushing for, it's amazing how tough it is in the process to get everybody on board.
What advice can you give students that are looking to pursue a career in government and politics?
I think that public service, no matter whatever it is, whether it be in politics, which is one form, being a teacher, whether it be the CIA, the State Department, running a not-for-profit, or being a business person, a small business person, but being active in the community, you get so much from public service and giving back. We need more good people in politics, and it's unfortunate that politician has, I say become a dirty word, but if you look back even towards Greece, it's not like politicians were being carried around with laurel on their head and celebrated. You know, politicians have always come with a little bit of scrutiny. That said, when you look at where we live, the fact that we have a mayor who's worth billions of dollars, right, Mayor Bloomberg, and he, for some odd reason, wants to be involved in politics, it's because even he knows, and there are many examples like that, that the profession of public service allows you to help people in a way that no other profession does, no matter how much money you have. And more good people should get involved, and they should go after their dreams, whatever their dreams are. We live in the greatest country the world has ever known, and whatever you want to do, I don't care what it is, you can accomplish it. And young people need to know that their time, I would say between 10 to 30 is your time frame to work very, very hard, do very well, know where you want to go, and set extremely high goals. And even if your ideas change, by setting those very high goals and preparing to get there, that you'll be in a good position to do whatever you want, no matter what changes. And your life when you're 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and older, in my opinion, will be a lot easier off if you work very hard in that 10 to 30 range. And most of the time when I'm in elementary schools and I talk to kids and I tell them that, their eyes glaze over. So.
Well, I'm 18, so I better start working hard then.
Nah, you're doing great.
What are some of the most difficult decisions you've had to make in office?
There are difficult decisions every day. When I was in the Assembly, I said no tough questions, by the way, during this interview. I'm just kidding. When so I don't know, it just popped up out of the blue. When I was in the Assembly, I was in the minority. And it was very easy there's a super majority. And it was very easy just to be the guy who said no and to stand up and explain why everything was bad. And a lot of things are bad. And when I got elected to the Senate, I fought both my own party and the Democratic Party. I'm a uniter. I brought both parties together to be against me. So when I arrived here in the Senate chamber, I arrived as a truly independent voice. But I think that you learn your lesson as a young leader who did stand up to some pretty powerful people, including former governors and Shelley Silver. You learn that you don't have to fight every single fight, and you pick your battles more wisely. And you have to pull coalitions together to get good things done. So, but there are tough decisions every day, especially in the majority, where your weight and your vote and your actions on your committee and as chair of Homeland Security have a real impact.
I think the Air Force prepared you well.
The Air Force is great.
I'm a West Point fan.
Awesome.
So
Now, are you looking to go to West Point?
my brother is.
Okay.
He wants to go so badly.
Service academies, best school, best education, and when you're at the academy, they say that the best view of the academy, the inside joke is that the best view of the academy is in your rear view mirror, and it's tough. All the service academies are so tough. And when I first left, I said, "Boy, I'm glad I did this, but I would never want my kids to go here because it's just so tough." I did it, but now there's no other school. Not that I have still. I don't have kids now, but when I do have children, I want them to go to a service academy. And anybody out there needs help in our area, looking to go to either West Point or Naval Academy, Air Force Academy, Coast Guard, they should contact me, and I'm happy to sit with them and talk to them.
Okay, one more question. I hope it's not a hard one.
I hope it's not hard, too. Otherwise, I'm getting my chief of staff.
But
I'm walking off the set.
since I go to Kennedy, one of the big concerns is the bus transportation right now, and it's affecting a lot of families.
Right.
Is there any update, maybe?
Well, the best update is that you have Father Valancourt, who's just a great guy, and he's a really tough guy. He's from my hometown in Pauling, and we worked together. We put together a coalition. We had a bunch of parents came together and students. We met with the leadership up here and got a commitment from the majority leader in the Senate that it would be a dead issue, and now we have to get proactive to actually increase the level where parents can have transportation. Because, just really quick on it, people talk about the cost. The cost is negligible, and what they have to realize is that and we've lost Catholic schools, but this affects Catholic schools, Jewish schools, private schools. If those schools have to shut down, every child that ends up in the public school is $22,000 a pop, and that's a huge tax increase just waiting to happen. And plus, the teachers talk about class size in public schools all day long. So this makes no sense whatsoever, and it's a gratuitous hit, in my opinion, especially towards the Catholic schools, of which there are certain people in government and beyond that view Catholic schools as a threat because they turn out a product, which I shouldn't call a student product, but I will, at a third the cost or half the cost, that's in many instances better equipped.
Thank you.
You got it.